Hello and welcome to my first video. Confessions of a Ride Operator. This series will be personal experiences from my time as a ride op at various parks. I will tell these in chronological order, starting with the earliest. My earliest experiences come from Knott's Berry Farm in 2006 to 2007. It was a very wild time back then. Us ride ops were working 12 plus hours a day, 6 days a week. It was not uncommon for us to be at more than one attraction in a single shift. During Knott's Scary Farm, I would open Xcelerator and stay there for the day shift, split shift and close Calico Mine ride, all while having lunch as I babysat the Calico Mine ride. Babysitting is when you stay at your attraction even though there are no guests. But the power is on, so a body must be present to ensure nothing happens. I will touch on the mine ride in its own video. Xcelerator was my first attraction I was trained on. It was a very fickle coaster, and things such as too drastic of a weight change from train to train could cause the coaster to go down. One time a guest decided to release a balloon which then got caught in the track structure. You see, Xcelerator uses track that has a web of supports interconnecting the rails together. Coaster nerds call it box track. The ride was shut down due to this balloon. Once word got out, guests were actually upset since they couldn't ride. This was a first for us as we had never had a balloon get caught in the track. One guest asked if we were really closed for a balloon, but a team lead quickly responded with no. It's more about the clown who was holding the balloon that we're worried about. Immediately the guests started scanning the skies for a clown with a balloon. I had to walk away before I started laughing at the sight of 20 people looking around going, "Where's the clown?" Meanwhile, a ride mechanic was insisting he could climb up a support pole and pull the balloon down. This led to an experiment in which the mechanic tried to shimmy up the support pole. It didn't work. After we managed to remove the guests from the coaster, it took about 45 minutes for the decision to be made to send an empty train to see what would happen if the wheels popped the balloon. It turned out the balloon was out of the reach of the train and could not be popped. It was then reopened with the balloon sitting in the track. And that balloon sat there for several days before it deflated and eventually fell out of the track. We had our fair share of strange issues. One day I remember the coaster train failed to launch and I began preparing the battery pack to unlock the lap bars. I was face to face with the back of the train when it decided to launch. Very quick way to wake you up. Having a train launch from 0 to 82 miles per hour in a few seconds right next to your face. My absolute favorite occurred during a grad night for a junior high school. A group of kids came rushing towards our dock. One was even attempting to scale the barrier surrounding the dock in order to board. One of the ride ops convinced the entire group to run to Boomerang instead. Once they rode Boomerang, they came rushing back towards us. They were again convinced to ride Supreme Scream. Finally, one of the kids finally found the entrance for our attraction. We started sending trains with the kids on board and things were going smoothly until we had a rather strange incident occur. A girl who was slurring her speech kept trying to turn around and talk to her friends behind her when we started the coaster. We kept telling her to turn around. But before she could, she face planted right into the seat she was sitting in. We thought for sure she was going to have a busted lip or something. But nothing happened. She walked off the coaster like nothing happened. It became apparent to us that she was actually under the influence of alcohol. She returned to the coaster again and we quickly called security. They showed up just as she boarded the train. This time was even stranger than the last. She was attempting to flash guests by pulling her top up. Except she had a shirt on underneath. So she was just showing everyone her shirt under her shirt instead. The security officers were laughing at this whole situation. But we finally got her off of the ride and am assuming out of the park. But that was by far the strangest situation I had ever encountered at Xcelerator. An underage drunk guest who smashed her face on her own seat during launch and attempting to flash people and only exposing her other shirt underneath. Well, that's all the time I have for today. I have plenty of other tales of wacky happenings that I would love to post about. If this was interesting to you, feel free to leave a like so I know to get started on part 2.